from San Angelo Stadium. This is San Angelo Game Night Live. Let's hear it. My name is Darren Prater. Thank you for joining us tonight. It is Orange Out Night, Home Opener Night, and Senior Night here at San Angelo Stadium. Thank you so much for joining us. You can join us in all kinds of places around 6:15 on Friday nights. Places like Roku. All you have to do is search Concho Sports. We're all over the Concho Sports Network. Amazon Fire TV, Facebook Live, YouTube Live, and ConchoSports.com. The Concho Sports Network is everywhere. Thank you for making us a part of your Friday night. And thank you to our sponsors, including the gang at Pack Saddle Barbecue. They're cooking up some good old barbecue right now. Jay and the gang slaving away in that kitchen. Really nice folks and the best barbecue in town. I love local places, and Pack Saddle's my favorite right around here. Thank y'all for bringing the pregame show tonight. San Angelo Central in action tonight in the home opener. They are 0-1 against the 0-1 Del Rio Rams. San Angelo Lakeview taking their 1-0 record on the road against the Fabens Wildcats tonight. We're going to talk about both games. We're going to break them down. We're going to give you the players to watch, the keys to the game. We'll hear from the coaches tonight. All of that coming up on the pregame show. Then at halftime, we'll have your full halftime report with highlights. Then we'll talk to coach, talk to some players, and recap the game on the post-game show. Right here on Game Night Live, let's get to it. After winning 6 straight season openers in the Brent Davis era, unfortunately, it all came to an end last week. The Central Bobcats in their season opener were soundly defeated in Killeen by the Killeen Shoemaker Gray Wolves. The final score, 54-21. It was the 5th time the two teams have played each other, only the first time that the Gray Wolves have beaten the Bobcats, but it was a sound defeat. Shoemaker led 28-7 at the half of a game where inexperience, penalties, throw in some turnovers, special teams mistakes too, and that got the ball rolling downhill, a muffed punt, and it was just a perfect combination for a disastrous night for the Central Bobcats. The thing is, can they bounce back tonight against Del Rio? This team is not as fast as them as the last team they played, so they have that going for them. Can they bounce back? Can they mentally come back, or is it going to be a long season for the Central fans and Central players? We could find that out tonight. That question could be answered tonight. Can they bounce back? One thing's for sure, we're going to find out the character of these young men in orange tonight. We're going to find out what kind of character this 2019 team has for the Angry Orange. Earlier this week, we had a chance to talk to the head man of the San Angelo Central Bobcats, Coach Brent Davis, and here's what he had to say.
Upbeat, we took a butt whipping, and we played the more you watch a film, we played a good football team. Their records in the past haven't been great, but Coach Foreman's been there 3 years, and he's got them playing really good, and I think they've got a good football team. I know they're extremely fast at the skill position. The quarterback threw the ball extremely well, exposed us a little bit in some areas that we got to get better. And but our we got that over with on Saturday. We got the film watched and got it critiqued and talked about, and we moved on. We moved on Sunday morning, and practice, like I said, yesterday was awesome. Today was even better. You can't dwell on it. You learn from it and you move on, and that's what we've done. Well, I'm not going to really share the things we do internally. We're going to make some changes. We're going to see if some people can play that give them an opportunity here before the game starts. Before our district season starts, and just see what other kids can do at certain positions and reevaluate things and try to get more people on the field and special teams. I think that'll help too. They're big up front. They got a really big offensive line. They probably average about 260, and on defensive line they average probably 280. And big old kids that play hard. Del Rio's always been a scruffy team that comes to play. I've coached in South Texas a long time before I came here, and those kids love to play football. It's a little different brand, but man, they get up for it, and the town supports them, and they'll come in here ready to go. They're 0-1 too. Both of us are sitting here needing a win. And they're big, not as fast as who we just played. They don't have that kind of team speed, but have a good scheme. They run a defense that we don't see a whole lot, a 3-3 stack, and they change that up some too. They'll get into a 4-man look some, but it's just something we don't see a whole bunch of. So we got to get prepared for that. And offensively, they run some one-back scheme stuff, and they're not bad at it. But they really kind of want to stay in their 2-back tight end stuff and run the ball downhill at you. Well, they're just different on offense. Last year they were a big RPO team, and they spread you out and run a lot of zone and zone read. And this year they're more 2-back tight end stuff, even 2 tight ends sometimes, more powered football. I mean, we got to be able to throw the football on anybody we play, and we actually threw the ball for 300 yards last week, but had way too many turnovers, and we had mistakes before the drive even started several times. We were sitting at 1st and 15 before we even ran a play sometimes, and when you continue to put yourself behind like that, it's hard to overcome it. So we've got to fix our penalties, and I think, we can throw the ball. That's what we have to do. Our quarterback has to be accurate, and he will be. He threw the deep ball extremely well against Shoemaker. We just, sometimes he was off target on the underneath stuff, and sometimes we dropped it. And those are things that got to get fixed. But I think we've got to be able to throw the ball on these guys, and if we do, I think we'll have success.
Do you feel that games or non-distributing?
It's really important because, we got to grow, We're playing a lot of kids that played JV football last year. A few of them played freshman football last year. So, we just need to grow as a football team. Like I told you earlier, I like this football team. I like the attitude. I can coach them hard, and they'll take it, and they'll get better from it. And they don't sulk about being coached. And so I know we're going to grow. And hopefully by the time we get to Weatherford, we'll be kind of where we want to be, at least at that point of the season. And, we didn't, like I said earlier, we didn't let the loss ruin us. We learned from it. And I think you're going to see a better football team Friday.
9 straight playoff appearances for the Angry Orange under head coach Brent Davis, the winningest coach in Central football history. Tonight's opponent, the Del Rio Rams, they're 0-1. They lost 28-7 to a San Antonio Warren team last week. And that brings us to this week's Friday night flashback. Going back to last year, 2018, the 15th ranked Bobcats soundly defeated the Rams in a 49-3 blowout. But it was a bittersweet win because this game against Del Rio last year, we lost Maverick McIver. He's now at Texas Tech. He went out in the third quarter with a knee injury, did not return, had to have surgery, did not return for the season. So last year against Del Rio, that is when the Malachi Brown era began. And the sophomore, he came in and played really well. He stepped in and threw for over 50 yards in the game and had a touchdown pass and a rushing touchdown. He also was the leading rusher against Del Rio last year, and he has been the starter for this team ever since. Had a tough time last week against Shoemaker, but hopefully the junior can bounce back. Should have a big game tonight against Del Rio. And that is your Friday night flashback. My name is Darren Prater. Thanks for hanging out on Game Night Live tonight. Coming up next, we'll talk about the players to watch tonight for both the Bobcats and the Rams. We're going to do that next after this when Game Night continues.
RO Express is San Angelo's local affordable drinking water choice. Water plays a vital role in our daily life, and having the best drinking water for your family is important. Rent a quality reverse osmosis system starting at $28.50 a month with a free local standard installation. So why overpay for something you can get right here for less?
Call my Uncle Larry.
You heard the girl. Call Angelo RO Express at 325-277-8611 for affordable drinking water.
To watch tonight for the Bobcats, it all starts with quarterback Malachi Brown. The junior needs to bounce back this week. Had a tough time last week against Shoemaker, but last year against Del Rio, he came in and had a great game. Now, one thing that did work, one offensive spark last week for the Bobcats, was the combination of Malachi Brown to receiver Tanner Dabbert. Despite 4 interceptions last week, Brown did manage to get the ball in the hands of Dabbert. He caught 9 passes for 168 yards and 3 touchdowns. On defense, second-team All-State senior cornerback Tristan Lopez One of the few big spots for the defense, he intercepted a pass in the end zone. Of course, the defense was worn out. They were on the field most of the game, but Tristan Lopez did provide a little spark, and it's the leadership of seniors like Lopez that they are going to need this season with a lot of young players. That's your players to watch for San Angelo Central. For Del Rio, Coach Roderick Taylor's Del Rio Rams returned 4 starters on offense and on defense from last year's 2-8 team. They're led by senior quarterback Dominic Sanchez. 6'1", 190-pound senior Sergio Morelos has been a reliable target for Sanchez. He's the tight end for the Rams. And on defense, 250-pound junior defensive end Kalen Green is one to watch. They really do have some big kids on the defensive line. Led by Green, he was the defensive newcomer of the year as a sophomore last season. And that's your players to watch tonight for San Angelo Central and Del Rio. I want to thank our sponsors tonight, including Pack Saddle Barbecue. You know, I love it. My favorite local barbecue place. Jay and the gang, good folks at Pack Saddle. Also, Maximus Nutrition. Everything to make you healthy or make you a better athlete. You will find it at several locations of Maximus Nutrition. You can join us tonight on Facebook Live. Just search for Concho Sports. Also, YouTube Live. We're on this fancy thing called Roku, too, and Amazon Fire TV, or just on our website, ConchoSports.com. It's all a part of the Concho Sports Network, bringing you coverage of all of your home games right here for Central and for Lakeview. Coming up in just a second, we're going to talk about the keys to the game for the Central Bobcats. What do they need to do tonight to get in the winners column and go 500? We'll talk about that next when San Angelo Game Night Live continues. Mike, can you grab that hat?
Escorted by Winston and Priscilla Jaquez.
Welcome back to San Angelo Game Night Live from San Angelo Stadium. The Central Bobcats about to go to war against the Del Rio Rams. We're about 30 minutes away from the 7 o'clock kickoff. Lakeview, 1-0. They're playing in Fabens tonight. We're going to talk about that coming up. Right now, first of all, I love Friday night. I've been following high school football forever. It is such a privilege to be here. We're going to see a sea of orange. It's Orange Out Night. You're going to see that in the stands tonight. Plus, it's senior night. Seniors and their parents being recognized right now. But I want to recognize one of my heroes. His name was Gordon Wood, the late, great Brownwood Lion coach, one of the winningest coaches in Texas high school football history, a true legend. So when I do keys to the game, I wanted to wear my Gordon, not Bear Bryant, my Gordon Wood tribute hat. Mike? Oh, Mike! I said throw it to me, not at me. The Gordon Wood tribute hat lives on anyway. Thanks, Mike. Here are your keys to the game tonight for the San Angelo Central Bobcats, the Angry Orange. Malachi Brown, he needs a big game. He had one when he came in for the injured Maverick McIver last year against Del Rio. 4 interceptions last week. He had a tough time of it. The junior needs to get his confidence back, and he can do that with a big game tonight. No turnovers. Cannot turn the ball over. I believe 5 total turnovers last week. Don't give this team anything easy. They were plagued by turnovers last week. Got to hang on to the ball. And last but not least, a lot of inexperienced players just getting used to the Friday Night Lights for Central, but the special teams play has got to improve. Last week it was a muffed punt against the Gray Wolves of Shoemaker, which gave them a short field and led to easy points. Special teams got to be mistake-free and don't give Del Rio any opportunities for easy points on the board. And that is your keys to the game tonight for the Angry Orange. We'll be back with more on San Angelo Game Night Live. Hey, that was great, man.
Kehlani Mulder, escorted by her mother Amy Mulder and her grandfather Anacito Martinez.
Welcome back to San Angelo Game Night Live. My name is Darren. Thank you for joining us tonight on the Concho Sports Network, and make it a tradition. Join us before you head out to the stadium on Friday nights with Game Night Live. So Central and Del Rio going to war here in about 30 minutes, 7 o'clock kickoff. Also a 7 o'clock kickoff tonight in Fabens for the San Angelo Lakeview Chiefs. We're going to break that game down coming up on the pregame show here in just a few minutes. Right now, I am joined by the San Angelo Central Junior ROTC. What are your names?
My name is Kaylin Young. I'm Sasha Rivera.
How about you?
Nicholas Cox.
Nicholas. Hey, what's up? What's your name?
Jessica Felipe.
And you?
Christian Davila.
Okay, who's going to be the spokesman? Now, Junior ROTC, what exactly does that mean? Like, what do y'all do? Do you march? Do you run and exercise? Or
It's sort of it's a military-funded program in high school, but it in no way recruits military people. It's more of it's a thing in high school, and it builds character. That's what we're about. We're building character and leadership in students and teaching them how to have responsibilities and be an adult, basically.
And it sounds like a lot of fun, too.
It is. It's tons of fun. We do drill meets. We have drill teams. We go on lots of trips. We're going to Spain this summer. We're doing a lot of things.
Do y'all drill with the wooden gun?
You can tell them.
How do you drill?
Well, there's different types of drill competitions. There's Color Guard, which you'll see here in a minute at the stadium, and it's just a handful of people, and it's 4 teams. It's really hard to place in that one. There's unarmed, there's armed, which a lot of people know of. You're pretty much playing with rifles, pretty heavy. There's also sabers and PT, which is PT is just physical training, of course, and sabers is with the swords, as people like to say. It's a lot of fun and a lot of participation, and it's a really good organization.
Thank you. It does sound like, especially the sabers part, that sounds like a heck of a lot of fun.
Yeah.
All right, well, what are you guys doing at the game tonight? Are y'all running the inflatable?
Yeah, we're running the Bobcat head and the flags. So the Bobcat head is what the football players and the seniors are walking through, and we're running the flags every time we have a touchdown, and we're doing the color guard for the national anthem at the beginning of the game.
Oh, very, very cool. I love it. I love the inflatables. Like, back in the day, nobody had those. Now everybody has them. I love it. So y'all can go get it aired up and get ready to go. It's Junior ROTC from San Angelo Central. Coming up after the break, we're going to talk about those 1-0 Lakeview Chiefs in Fabens tonight. That's coming up next when Game Night continues. Back at San Angelo Stadium, your Friday night companion on the Concho Sports Network. I'm Darren, and this is San Angelo Game Night Live. Thank you for joining us. Thanks to Pack Saddle Barbecue for being one of our sponsors tonight. Thank you guys so much. Also, Maximus Nutrition. We do appreciate you guys. Central Del Rio, about 23 minutes away from kickoff here at San Angelo Stadium. If you're about to head out here, please do drive safely. Senior night, Orange night, it's all going on. But right now, let's break down the San Angelo Lakeview Chiefs. I think they almost gave us a heart attack last week. But they're 1-0. It's been since 2007 that this team was 1-0. And the Chiefs are taking the show on the road, trying to remain undefeated tonight against the Fabens Wildcats. Earlier this week, we had a chance to talk to the head man, the head coach for the Lakeview Chiefs, Hector Guevara. And here's what he had to say. Coach Hector Guevara, the head man for the Lakeview Chiefs, the 1-0 San Angelo Lakeview Chiefs. Let's talk about the opener against Lamesa. What were some positive things you saw about the team last week?
The main thing, the effort, not giving up late in the game. You know, we're up pretty good, but you know, knowing Lamesa, they're well coached, so just the kids not giving up and showing effort throughout the game.
So what happened in the second half? You had the game well in control, then a run back first thing in the third quarter, so it looked like you were just going to blow them out. What happened defensively in the second half that let them get back in the game?
We had a lot of missed tackles throughout the second half, and then we had some miscues in the secondary. But like I said, we hung in there and got the win.
You betcha. So now coming in 1-0, it was a big win last week. Have a chance to go 2-0 this week. How have you kept the kids from getting too high after that win, from getting too excited? And what have you said to them to kind of keep them focused?
We just take that mentality of the same cliche, just one game at a time, one play at a time, and we'll go from there.
So let's talk about conditioning. We talked to you after the game on Friday night. Did you have the kids running a lot this week?
We didn't add any more running. Obviously, starting of the year, you're going to have that. Kids getting back in game shape, and it's going to take a few games. Hopefully, not too many.
Do you think that the heat was a big factor on them last week?
Obviously, the heat's it's a big factor for us. It's been hot, and we've been going in the morning, so we don't really practice in the afternoons. So that may have something to do with it.
Hopefully it's going to get cooler here soon. Someday it will, anyway. So let's talk about Fabens this week. Blew them out last year, but you never know what's going to happen this year. What do you know about them? What are they going to bring to the table?
They run the ball a lot, and they do a good job doing it. So they run it's not just an offense that's based on running. And people say it's simple, but it's hard because they do it well.
I saw one of your formation diagrams. Do they run the I formation some?
They have various formations, but yeah, mainly out of the I.
So tell us a few of the players. Of course, we know Johnny Espinoza. He always steps up. I was kidding with you earlier when I said, can we get him to try? All he did was run back a 90-yard kickoff. Let's see, a couple of touchdowns, an interception. Were some other kids that stepped up last week?
We had our rest of the receiving core was J.J. Casares, Austin Bandy.
Is Austin healthy?
Yes, sir. And Austin Bandy, and then Tristan Franklin, Brandon Herrera. I mean, we got some kids, Rudy Martinez, Tony Martinez. We don't really specify who's going to get the ball. We just, they know what to do, and our quarterback does a good job distributing the ball to the kids.
So what do you do as a coach when you're in the situation like you were in the second half where their quarterback, one player on the other team all of a sudden puts it all on his back and starts getting yardage against you? Do you adjust things, or you just say, well, we're going to just keep an eye on him?
Well, obviously we make adjustments, but, we still got to make plays, and they did a good job. He was a hard runner, good athlete.
Seems like a turning point for this program last week. They had a chance to win right at the end, just like y'all had a chance to win the year before. But the defense stood up. What does that mean for your program that you made the stop at the end? You did it.
It just says a lot about our character of the team. They stuck together and they never got down. They were positive throughout the game, and frustration hit a little bit, but they maintained that positivity and it got them through.
Well, good luck to you guys on the road this week against Fabens. Hector Guevara, head coach, San Angelo Lakeview, looking to go 2-0 this week against Fabens. I'm Darren Prater on Concho Sports Network.
Whatever it is you wrangle,
Just a few feet away from me, the Texans drill team ready to go. That was Coach Hector Guevara, the head man of the Lakeview Chiefs, 1-0. Now, last year against the Fabens team that they're playing tonight, it was a pivotal game. I'll tell you why. Plus, we'll take a look at some highlights from the big win over Lamesa last week. That's coming up next when San Angelo Game Night Live continues.
First Financial has the right mobile tools for fast, full-feature banking, wherever, whenever. Let's do this.
Back at San Angelo Stadium, I'm Darren Prater. This is Game Night Live. San Angelo Lakeview. Last week, they defeated Lamesa by a score of 38-30. Really should have been a blowout, but it got too close for comfort. Let's take a look at some of the plays from last week against. Made the big stop. They did it. And they won their first opener since 2007. And they're going to take that 1-0 record to take on 1-0 Fabens Wildcats in Fabens tonight. We're going to bring you updates from that game at halftime and the final score after the game. Coming up next, we're going to talk about your players to watch for the mighty Chiefs and the Fabens Wildcats. We're going to do that next when Game Night Live continues. Back at San Angelo Stadium for Game Night Live on Concho Sports Network. My name is Darren. Big game tonight for the Lakeview Chiefs on the road against the Fabens Wildcats. Now, last week against Lamesa, it was too close for comfort. The Chiefs led as much as 26-0, and then they let Lamesa slip back into the game. Under 30 seconds to go. Lamesa trails 38-30. The Chiefs have to stop them. It's fourth down. What did they do? They did it. Johnny Espinoza knocks the ball out of the sky on the pass to the end zone, and the Chiefs won. They're 1-0 for the first time since 2007. Going on the road tonight against Fabens. Now, this was a big game last year, and I hate to bring this up. I'll bring it up one more time. The Chiefs were on an 18-game losing streak. They'd lost every game the previous year. And then they came out against Fabens. First week, they lost to Lamesa last year. A tough loss, one that they should have won. Then they come out against Fabens and blew them out of the water. I mean, just blew them up, 35-0. Quarterback Kendall Blue was moved to running back, and it just all worked. Of course, All-Stater Espinoza was great. 35-0 over Fabens, and they broke that losing streak. Pivotal. Then they went to win by district later in the season. And last week, they got the win over Lamesa to go 1-0. So the Chiefs looking to go 2-0. Their opponent tonight, Fabens, they're also 1-0. I know it's cliche, but somebody's O must go. Let's take a look now at our players to watch tonight. First of all, for the Lakeview Chiefs. Johnny Espinoza had a huge game last week. The All-Stater against Lamesa, 2 touchdown catches, an interception, 90-yard kickoff return to kick off the third quarter. That was for a touchdown. He also knocked down a last-second pass to secure the win for the Chiefs. A-Rod, quarterback Albert Rodriguez, had a big night as well. He ran for the first touchdown of the game, threw 2 touchdowns as well. The Chiefs' defense, especially the first half, they really played, made some big plays, several picks, including Anthony Mendez, a pick six, and Jeremy Hernandez had 4 sacks in the first half, with 2 of them coming one after the other. That's getting after the quarterback. Players to watch for the Fabens Wildcats. Coach Jake Belshie's Wildcats are 1-0. They beat Van Horn last week. They return only 3 starters on offense and defense from last year's 4-7 by-district finalists. Players to watch for the Cats include running back Jose Reyes, who is their biggest threat on offense. He's quick with breakaway speed. 210-pound linebacker Ishmael Huerta is the leader on defense. And there's twins. Twins Victor and Hesker Escajeda will each play multiple positions. Coach Belshie says they can play anywhere, any position on both sides of the ball. We're getting ready for some football tonight and our national anthem. That's going to be coming up here in just a second. We're going to take a break, and then we'll talk about the keys to the game for the Lakeview Chiefs tonight. Live from San Angelo Stadium. This is San Angelo Game Night Live. We'll be back right after this. All right, I'm ready. Welcome back to San Angelo Game Night Live as we wrap up the pregame show. Thanks to Pack Saddle Barbecue, also Maximus Nutrition for making this possible tonight. Keys to the game for the San Angelo Lakeview Chiefs against Fabens tonight. They got to get the ball in the hands of Johnny Espinoza. I mean, multiple touchdowns, kickoff return for a touchdown, interception. He does everything. He batted down the ball at the last second to preserve the game. Get him the ball. Keep feeding Johnny Espinoza. Defense needs to keep up the intensity for the second half and force some turnovers in the second half, not just all in the first. There was a little bit of a lull. And special teams play can improve some for the Chiefs. They could have put the game away if they just made one more extra point, and they didn't get that done. Plus, they gave Lamisa a touchdown due to not covering a kickoff. So special teams, not bad. Got to make those extra points, though. And that's going to wrap things up for your look at the Lakeview Chiefs and the Fabens Wildcats playing in Fabens tonight. The Angry Orange are about to come through the inflatable, and a sea of orange fans will welcome them out onto the field as they get ready to go to war against Del Rio tonight. Thank you for joining us for the pregame show. We will see you for the halftime report right here. Same place, Concho Sports Network, conchosports.com, Facebook Live, YouTube, Roku, Amazon Fire, all those places you can join us. Just search Concho Sports. I'm Darren Prater. That wraps it up for the pregame show. We will see you at the half on San Angelo Game Night Live.